big day today. Greetings coming from Nato. Also his dad Travis, his mom Asada. Melissa, Augustine as well, grandparents, and the entire home circle wishing him all the best. Many more years to come and God's blessings as he celebrates today. Aziel, Travan, Travis Banis, good morning and happy birthday.
And fake friend was give me some more, but me I want a mansion in the sky, in the sky. Good on
Like water flowing from the mountaintop, this is the sound of DBS.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines: Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt hints of a possible cabinet reshuffle. Authorities in St. Vincent are investigating the discovery of a boat with a number of dead people on board. 27 people hospitalized after a car plows over Liverpool supporters in England. And coming up in sports, 5 overseas-based players have been named in the senior men's national football team for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers. Well, good morning, I'm Gavin Richards with the DBS Major Morning News. The details right after this.
Drink and win with Distinction Milk. Purchase 2 large cans or 4 small cans of Distinction Milk and you get a chance to take home a Ninja Blender, $500 cash, or $500 shopping voucher from any local store you like. Just write your name and telephone number on your receipt and drop it into the box at your store, or WhatsApp a photo of your receipt to 317-4130. That number again, 317-4130. It's that easy. Distinction Milk, 100% cow's milk. Better quality, better taste. Hurry, promotion ends soon. Distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
DBS News.
Welcome back. First up in the news this morning, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt has hinted of a possible cabinet reshuffle. His comments came during a press conference yesterday.
There's always a possibility. You know, after a couple of years, you may have a change of focus or priorities as a government. You will have to shift things around. So, yes, quite possibly there will be a cabinet reshuffle so that we can enhance our delivery of services to our people. Because as a government, you cannot be indifferent to the complaints of the public because you're doing work on their behalf. And as you know, I have my ears on the ground every single day. And so I am not unaware of the complaints of the people of Dominica. So certainly the government has to come to a point where it has to reassess its priorities and the resources that it has at its disposal and juxtapose them against what the people are saying. Because we are working on people's behalf, not on our behalf. And to work on people's behalf, you must know what they want. and how they want it. We cannot be ahead of the public or behind them. They have to be side by side with us because we have to work together. And so it's something I take very, very seriously as Prime Minister and the leader of the Labour Party. But there'll be some changes to be made. The short answer to this is yes, but as to the timing, I do not know. It's a thing I always have to give reflection to and clear thought to, and because ultimately the buck stops with me. But certainly there'll be some changes made. Some may be dramatic, some may not.
And that was Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. In some more news this morning, Dominica has taken a decision to participate in the Carbon Offsetting and Reduction Scheme for International Aviation, CORSIA. The agreement was signed during a two-day workshop at Villa in Copthall. CORSIA is a global initiative led by the International Civil Aviation Organization to address greenhouse gas emissions from international aviation.
Today I am proud to announce that Dominica has joined CORSIA. This is more than a policy position, it is a reflection of who we are and what we believe. That small nations can lead with bold action, that climate responsibility belongs to all of us, and that environmental leadership must be backed by real commitments. We know the importance of aviation. It connects our island to the world. It fuels our tourism, supports our economy, and plays a critical role in emergency response and regional integration. But we also understand our duty to future generations to reduce our carbon footprint and protect the environment that sustains us. For Dominica, climate change is a lived reality. We have felt the wrath of stronger hurricanes like Maria, tropical storms and trough systems that cause severe flooding and erosion, which has led to relocation of communities like Petit Savan and now Petit Soufriere and Good Hope. Yet in the face of these challenges, we have chosen hope over fear and continue to make the investments necessary to build back better and protect our people and livelihoods.
Minister for Tourism Denise Charles Pemberton, meantime Director General of the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority, Anthony Whittier, says Dominica's decision to participate in the Carbon Offsetting and Reduction Scheme for International Aviation is commendable. He says he has held fruitful discussions with Dominica's Prime Minister.
Today I met with the Honorable Prime Minister and I must congratulate him on his vision for the country, sustainability, and of course the brand new international airport, which is indeed a proud project. ECA is committed to journey with Dominica on that path to ensure that it is really built to international standards, or maybe exceed international standards, and of course to ensure that it is certified at the end of the production. So we look forward to that. Another outcome of the conversation with the Prime Minister, I think I should mention, is the decision or agreement by him to host the first independent aircraft accident investigation unit in Dominica. That to me is very significant in terms of as a bold step forward to deal with aircraft accident investigation. It is really a weakness throughout the region, even throughout the world. And for Dominica to make that bold step to host it here, I think is applaudable, and I really want to say at this time we have two pretty qualified designates to function within the unit, one from Dominica, Ms. Hillary, and we also have another qualified person from Nevis. So with this, this core competence, we really have the ingredients to have a really properly functioning unit. Both of them were already trained in accident investigation, I was pleased to find out. And through our cooperation with France, we were able to enhance their training in Paris.
And that's the Director General of the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority, Anthony Whittier. 750 students will sit the Grade 6 National Assessment this week. The two-day assessment will be held on Thursday and Friday at 58 centers across Dominica. Education Officer for Measurement and Evaluation is Krishna Robin.
The Ministry of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence will administer the Grades 6 National Assessment 2025 on Thursday, May 29th and Friday, May 30th, 2025. This year, 750 candidates, that is 373 girls and 377 boys, will be taking the exams across 58 centers around the island. The exams are set to begin at 7:45 each day. All exams this year will be paper-based. On Thursday, May 29, candidates will write the language arts and social sciences selected response papers or multiple choice, with the language arts having an additional composition aspect. On Friday, May 30th, candidates will write the mathematics and science and technology selected response papers. With the support of educators and administrators, the Ministry of Education has meticulously prepared for the successful administration of the national assessment to include pertinent guidelines for relevant stakeholders and training of supervisors.
Robin also encouraged parents to allow students to relax ahead of the sitting of the national assessment.
We are requesting that parents or anyone not directly involved with the administration of the exams to stay clear of the compounds of any testing center while the examinations are in progress. Additionally, it is advised that parents allow their children to relax some days leading up to the examinations. The Ministry of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training, and National Excellence wishes each and every candidate success in the upcoming examinations.
And that's Education Officer for Measurement and Evaluation, Krishna Robin. President of the Dominica Labour Party, Ambassador Emmanuel Nanton, says the 70th anniversary of the Dominica Labour Party is an opportunity for reflection on the impact of the party on all aspects of Dominican life. Ambassador Nanton told a special program on DBS last night that the philosophy of the party, built on catering for the underprivileged, has served Dominica well.
I must say, for me, it is a distinct pleasure and privilege to be able to serve in this august body. Labor is something that we believe in. Labor is something that we live. Labor is a movement. A movement started 70 years ago on that bright day, on Empire Day in 1955. And today we feel proud. We feel proud not of ourselves and what we are doing. We feel proud to be able to be affiliated. The core principles are rooted in service to humankind, service to Dominicans, service to the people, and particularly those who are less fortunate among us. And as I speak of service of the party, I would recall clearly the many times Rosie Douglas would talk to me, and I would say, Mano, we have to do what we have to do, because there will always be more people out who need the help, or more people out in poverty. There will be more people who are less fortunate, and there will be those who are on top there.
President of the Dominica Labour Party, Ambassador Emmanuel Nanton. Catholic priest Father Nigel Karam has issued a stern warning to the youth of Dominica to refrain from taking matters into their own hands. His appeal was made during the funeral mass of the late Kimon Emmanuel from Goodwill, who lost his life to gun violence last month.
Do not go and enter into the spiral of violence and revenge. Revenge is not the answer. Revenge will never be the answer, because all it causes is more death and more grief and more violence and more death and more grief and more violence. That's all it causes. If we want to see a different future, if we want to see a different society, if we want to see a different community, if we want to see our young men reach old age, then we need to stop and think what it is are we doing and what it is we are not doing. These words are not meant to be condemnatory. To condemn is to kill, to destroy. To condemn is to give no hope. But Jesus always gives hope. His judgment is a just judgment that invites us to evaluate our lives, to assess our decisions, and to change. When we were burying, I think, Chris Solomon, and his mother was here, and Kimon's mother was there as well. And I said, a lot of times we think that what we have will save us. We think that because we carry a gun, it will save us. It won't. We think that because we have beautiful clothes or jewelry, that it will save us. It won't. We think that because we have many, many friends, it will save us. It won't. The only person who can save is Jesus Christ.
And that was Catholic priest Father Nigel Karam. Let's head into news from the region this morning. Authorities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines have launched an investigation following the discovery of a vessel with what appears to be decomposed human remains found washed ashore the island of Canoan in the Grenadines. Well, according to a press release from the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, the vessel was located in the vicinity of Little Bay, Cherry Hill, between 10 o'clock and 10:45 yesterday morning. During the initial examination of the vessel, what appears to be decomposed human remains were found on board. The identities of the deceased and the circumstances surrounding the discovery remain unknown at this time. Police say that the matter is under active investigation. And on the international scene, 4 children are among the dozens of people injured after a car plowed into a crowd at the Liverpool FC parade. 27 people were taken to the hospital and 2 suffered serious injuries. A 53-year-old white British man has been arrested and is believed to be the driver of the vehicle. The incident is not being treated as terrorism. Thousands of people were on the city's streets for Liverpool FC's Premier League victory parade, and the club has offered its full support to the emergency service. Well, that's the news. Let's recap the headlines. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit hints of a possible cabinet reshuffle. Authorities in St. Vincent are investigating the discovery of a boat with a number of dead people on board. 27 people hospitalized after a car plows into Liverpool supporters in England. And coming up in sports, 5 overseas-based players have been named in the senior men's national football team for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers. That's the news. Stay tuned for sports.
Soft weave bathroom tissue, napkins, and paper towels are the perfect choice for your home. Manufactured with virgin fibers, it's the quality that you and your family deserve. New Soft Weave Total Hygiene bathroom tissue is produced at high temperatures to remove microorganisms. It's pH controlled to protect your skin and produced with UV light disinfection to eliminate bacteria and viruses, providing maximum protection. Soft Weave, distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and sold island-wide. Soft Weave. Quality, affordability, manufactured with you in mind.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro-Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro-Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro-Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro-Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro-Caribe. 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 Petro-Caribe.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank. NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way. So transfer funds on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way to pay your bills with Mobanking. The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mobanking.
The faster, easier pay employees on Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank. Plus, you can now top up your phone on Mobanking. No need for cash or card. Simply log into Mobanking to top up your phone. Visit nbdominica.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more details. The faster, easier way to bank. NBD. Your partner, your bank.
Welcome to the Morning Sports. 5 overseas-based players have been named in the senior men's national football team for Dominica's 2 remaining World Cup qualifying matches, which start next week. Well, Dominica will play the British Virgin Islands next Wednesday at Windsor Park, and then will play the Dominican Republic on the 10th of June. The 5 overseas-based players are goalkeeper and captain Glenson Prince, midfielders Fitzjolly and Malachi Bonney, defender Mosiah Bonney, and forward Troy Jules. The technical staff of the senior men's national football team has named a 23-man squad, which also includes Leanne Edwards, Nathan Newton, and Jalen Johnville, who all made their debuts at the senior level against Barbados a few weeks ago. Well, the full team is goalkeepers Glenson Prince, Dante Newton, and Jerome Burkhardt. Defenders Marcus Breeders, Nick Anthony, Giovanni Zave, Eustace Marshall, Mosiah Bonney, and Jalen Johnville, Nathan Newton. In the midfield, Brielle Thomas, Kian Thomas, Malachi Bonney, Fitzjolly, Coben Paul, and Leanne Edwards. And the forwards, Dante Warrington, Savio Ansem, Travis Joseph, Odell Laville, Rion Coffey, Troy Jules, and Javid George. Well, here is the head coach of the team, Ellington Sabin, with his thoughts on the team selected.
Well, the team is in good spirit. I mean, guys, especially this evening and leading up to this evening, put in a good shift, and every time they come, they can see the guys pushing each other to the limit. I mean, unfortunately, you have to cut from the squad. It's always heartbreaking as a coach when you have to cut players, but we always wish them well, and we hope that they do well and continue doing well for the and hope that they can come back and make a claim for the national team. I mean, as we know, at that level is about form and it's a competition we're going into, and we just pick the 23 players as a staff that we feel most informed and can represent the country to the best of their ability.
All right, Coach, let's talk quickly about the additions to the team. 5 overseas-based players. Quick word on them, of course, the captain, Glenson Prince. But we have some overseas reinforcements. What do you think they're going to bring? How are they going to help your squad?
Well, the overseas-based players are no new faces to the national team. It's Glenson Prince, Fitzjolly, Malachi Bonney, who's already here, Mosiah Bonney, his brother, as well as Troy Jules. And these guys are players that are accustomed to making the national team, and we expect that they will bring quality and seniority to the national team.
All right, Coach, looking ahead to the 2 games against BVI and Dominican Republic, last games against Barbados, you had some concerns with finishing and, how we played in front of goal. Had a few weeks to work on that. How impressed are you now with how the guys have responded to that?
Well, it's getting better, as you saw tonight. I mean, guys worked some nice goals in front of the goal, so it shows that they want to improve, and it shows that they make an improvement. We'll continue to work on that because this is what seems to be plaguing us at club level and at national team level. So we continue working on that so that the players can master their craft and score goals whenever they come, because we can create chances and we possess the ball.
And that's the head coach of the senior men's national football team, Ellington Sabin. Let's move to cricket news now. The hard-hitting Lenico Boucher, Kofi James, Cheyenne Brathwaite and Stephen Natram are among the overseas players in tonight's draft for next month's Dream 11 Nature Isle T10 tournament. Well, the draft is set for this evening at 5 o'clock at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium. The Dream 11 Nature Isle T10 tournament will get underway in July. A former West Indies player, Andre Fletcher, is set to feature in this year's competition and has already been pre-selected as an overseas player for one of the franchises. There are some other overseas players who have also been pre-selected. That's Raishon Williams, Sunil Ambrose, Ryan John, Daniel McDonald, and Kadim Aline. They will also all be part of this year's competitions. The Valley Hikers, well, they are the defending champions. Let's go back to football news as head of the DFA Club Licensing Department, Erickson de Gallery, is hoping that last weekend's governance protocol workshop will help clubs address their shortcomings as it relates to conducting their own meetings. While the DFA met with representatives of the 30 clubs on the weekend, the workshop, which was aimed at better helping club presidents and secretaries with the protocols for their club meetings, was conducted by local government Commissioner Glenroy Tousse.
And we felt it necessary because presidents and clubs, they must know how to conduct a meeting. And that is part of DFA's aim at building club structure and ensuring that the clubs follow the protocols in terms of how to go about conducting their meetings. Because as part of the club licensing agreement, the clubs need to have these things in order. So we felt it necessary to empower them so that they would do the proper thing. And then if DFA were to examine their books, then we can see that they are in compliance with DFA standards and what is expected of them as clubs. Because you need to be in compliance with what DFA is doing, because DFA gives the clubs a subvention and DFA needs to know how that money is being spent. And most of the times now, that will be recorded in their minutes, so DFA could easily look at their minutes and see how that money was spent, apart from the submitting a monthly report and so on. Some clubs have been reporting very well. Some clubs are lacking in that regard. So that is why, before we take any drastic steps, we want to bring the clubs up to par with what is expected of them. So this week, we are having this workshop, and then 2 weeks from today, we're going to have one to the finance officers in terms of how to keep the records and how to prepare financial statements.
And that's head of the DFA Club Licensing Department, Erickson de Gallery. In some more football news, the head coach of the East Central football team, Stanton Seraphin, feels that it is just a matter of time before his club turns things around. While East Central are off to a very slow start in the 2025 DFA Premier League, they have 1 point from 8 matches played, with 7 losses to date so far. Their latest defeat was a 3-0 loss to Promex Harlem on the weekend.
Yeah, well, at the moment it's not looking good. We need to turn things around, you know what I mean? I'm confident in the ability of my players, of course. You know, I believe we have what it takes, you know. It's just getting, you know, some of the things right. I mean, you saw the brand of football we played there in the first half, you know, that is what we are capable of. And if the guys can just, you know, believe in themselves a little more, be a bit more confident and score the goals. You know, if we score our goals, is a much different game, you know. But a bit concerned, yes, but we're just taking it one game at a time. It's all about the next game, and let's see what happens.
Transfer window is opening real soon. Maybe East Central might try to dip into that window, try to bring in some quality.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, we always looking out there, you know, with quality, you know, looking for 1 or 2 quality players, of course, in key positions. You know, we know that we are not far off, you know, and if we can just get 1 or 2 players, you know, particularly in our midfield and up front, you know, we can turn our season around.
And that's head coach of the East Central football team, Stanton Seraphin. A new executive to govern the affairs of the Dominica Chess Federation could be elected this week, as the association is set to hold its annual general meeting, where PRO of the Dominica Chess Federation, Dorothy John Baptist, says plans for the year will also be among items on the agenda. The meeting is scheduled for Thursday at the UE Global Campus.
It's an election year, so members will be able to vote in the election of new officers to serve on the executive. Our AGM is a chance for us to review the Federation's activities over the past 12 months and to look at the plans for the year ahead. Members can engage the executive, share ideas, and make their contribution. Prospective members and well-wishers are also invited. All chess enthusiasts are welcome to join us to learn more about the group and our mission to encourage the development of chess in Dominica. So that's the annual general meeting of the Dominica Chess Federation on Thursday, May 29th at 6 p.m. at the UE Global Campus.
PRO of the Dominica Chess Federation, Dorothy John Baptist. Let's go to cricket news. Hayley Matthews put the West Indies on her back once again, but her efforts were not enough as the West Indies women went down again to England in the third and final ODI yesterday. England batted first. They made 144 for 5 in their 20 overs. Heather Knight made 66 not out, while Hayley Matthews, she picked up 3 for 32, and Zeta James 1 for 4 in 2 overs. The West Indies chasing 145 to win. They reached 126 for 8 in their 20 overs, with Hayley Matthews getting 71. West Indies, they lost that game by 17 runs, and they've also lost the series 3 games to none. In some more sports this morning, wins for the Portsmouth Secondary School, the Northeast Comprehensive A team and the Northeast Comprehensive B team as matches continued yesterday in the Sports Division Secondary Schools Under 14 Netball Tournament at Winter Park. In the first game, the Portsmouth Secondary School won over the Castleboro Secondary School 13-6. Shooting for the Portsmouth Secondary School, we had Jacola Benjamin, who made 13 out of 27 attempts, while for the Castleboro Secondary School, Faithful Othan made 3 from 7 and Leanne Augustine 3 from 5. In other matches, the Wesley High School, where they suffered another defeat as they went down to the Northeast Comprehensive B team. The Wesley High School lost that game 25-3. Top scoring for the Northeast Comprehensive B team, we had Ronika Edwards, 13 out of 21 attempts, and Shadisha Walls, 10 out of 16. And there was also a win from the Northeast Comprehensive A team as they defeated the Goodwill Secondary School. They won that game 32-12. And top scoring for the Northeast Comprehensive A team, Adara Samuel made 20 out of 36 attempts, and we had a Catalina Bugunu getting 12 from 18 attempts. We can also quickly tell you this morning that the MCCU Sunrise Men's Division 1 volleyball team were their 1 win away from a spot in the finals of the KFC National Volleyball League as they took game 1 of their semi-final series with the R&D Academy on the weekend. Sunrise, well, they won comfortably in straight sets, winning 25-20, 25-23 and 25-19. And the Sunrise, they have a 1-game-to-none lead in that series. The Sunrise women were there also 1 win away from a spot in the finals as they took care of Club 1 in game 1 of the women's semifinals on the weekend. Sunrise won that game in straight sets. And in the men's Division 2, well, R&D Academy, they took a 1-game-to-none lead in their semifinal series with MCCU Sunrise, and they won that match in 4 sets, winning 22-25, 25-16, 25-20 and 25-22. Well, that's where we'll come to the end of the DBS Morning Sports Report. We'll have a lot more sporting highlights for you throughout the course of the day. Quick reminder, the Dream 11 Nature Isle T10 player draft that gets underway at 5 o'clock this afternoon. And of course, a number of players will be watching and hoping to find out which franchise they will be selected for that competition as it gets underway in July. Remember, the Barana Ote Warriors are the defending champions. Well, that's a look at the sports. More news and sports at 11 o'clock during the morning news update. Until then, Garvin Richards saying good morning.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank. NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way. So transfer funds on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way to pay your bills with Mobanking. The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mobanking.
The faster, easier pay employees on Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank.
Plus, you can now top up your phone on Mobanking. No need for cash or card. Simply log into Mobanking to top up your phone. Visit nbdominica.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more details.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD.
Your partner, your bank.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.